G'day traders, welcome to a vlog for Monday the 23rd of July. So just a quick side note, like I said in the introduction video, this is the first day that I'm actually making available to a few of you guys, so it's a little bit different for me. It's something quite personal, not that I have anything that I don't want to share, but it's something that I've just been doing in my own time and going through and doing myself, and also I know there might be a few people listening to it, so for me that makes it a little bit different. But what I'm going to do is just treat it how I normally do, and I say, even though I don't make it available to other people up until now, I say g'day traders, and that's it for Monday, and do all those sort of things. I've got some sort of goals or some things that I'm working on that I always start off with too. So you might see some things like this at the end of the day. You take what you need and ignore what you don't need. Some of it might have absolutely no relevance to yourself. But again, it's just something to lead by example and show exactly what I'm doing. Just kind of make it, just put it right out there. And if it hopefully inspires you guys in a few ways, or you get a few ideas from something, it's not about you guys taking this exactly and doing something with it. If you want to, you can, but it's just about getting some ideas. And even if doing something like this right at the start, where I talk about this particular challenge I'm doing for myself at the moment, if that gives you some idea, great. So let me go ahead and do my blog. So here we are, day 31 of 65 day as far as the compound effect challenge is going. So this is all about making forward progress every day, applying my edge and method, and it's about a 13-week challenge or a 90-day challenge, which involves 65 trading days. So this is the start of the 7th week of 13, and the goal is just to absolutely just stick to the method, apply my edge, apply day in and out, me doing the same thing and moving ahead at day 65 with fantastic results, confidence, belief, information. And it's all just about creating a black and white systematic approach where it's all about the model and it's not about me. Okay, so let's have a look at today. So start off with daily chart. I'm not too, most of the time, I'd say 80% of the time, I'm not too fast on the daily chart. What I do place a little bit more emphasis on is 60-minute charts and 15-minute charts. Sometimes on the daily we're in a very significant area, and that I'll stand up and take note. But most of the time, overall, what I'm doing, I've just got a general bias, and from that I'm just going, okay, the bias is with the buyers, so let me just give a little bit more weighting to the buyers. And there's certain things within my trading plan where I need to, if it's with the bias, I can take areas that are a little bit more 50-50. I wouldn't call them 50-50, but I've got certain ways I approach it that if it's with the overall flow, I don't need as much confirmation is basically what it is. If it's against the flow, I need more confirmation. So I've got my way of using daily charts at the end of the day. It's very well defined in my trading plan, and that's something I certainly suggest. So you can see here we're coming down. We're breaking through a few levels here that really expected to hold. So as far as today was concerned, I thought there was definitely some pressure on the downside, but at some stage we're going to look to get some support, and definitely the 15 minutes and the 60-minute charts show that a little bit better. Let me just bring up the 60-minute charts for starters. So 60-minute charts, here they are. Here's some really key levels at the moment, and basically I'm just keeping an eye on these levels, and as we come through, placing these on the charts, and this is what I'm going to be trading around. So you can see at the moment on the 60-minute chart, very much some downward momentum. 15-minute chart, this is what I put most of my focus on as far as where the sentiment of the market's heading. I think this is a great link up between those longer term markets and the very short term markets which I trade. So interesting thing about here is basically Thursday we tried to make a higher high, failed, and from there we started pushing down. Friday definitely had a view that we were pushing down once we started to, this market popped up here and was held down by the bottom of this market here. And when you're seeing this on the 15-minute chart, it's pushing down like this. This is a real downward momentum or downward sentiment. Okay, and then we continue to get that downward movement here to where, looking at it, we've broken through all these key levels, and now there's now another key level sitting down a bit further. So now looking for this market to get down and possibly push down and get some sort of support down around lower. Now that the day is actually panned out too, you can see what's happening with this trend line. We've broken up through it. Now we're using it to support of the trend line, which was resistance, is now acting as support. So even though the last 2.5 days have certainly been on the downside, I think coming into Tuesday, there's definitely starting to be some upward momentum form, but we'll see what the rest of this pre-market does. Righto, so here we go. So this is a 5-minute chart. I basically place all the areas and finding trades I've taken, areas I'm looking at, key levels, trading opportunities on this 5-minute chart, and everything's based around the 5-minute chart. So what it is, it's a 5-minute trading method, and this is explained a bit in the little document or video that the 10-minute video I've done that explains the blog and how I do it, so a little bit more detail there. But basically these levels, different colors and different lines mean different things, and they're just representing levels in the market I'm looking at. All these little arrows here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they're trading areas or opportunities, not necessarily meaning that I was close to taking trades, just particularly I was looking at a certain thing, I just put them there to make note. So it's a reference point for me to talk about a certain area that I was looking to take. But what it's all about is having everything on the 5-minute chart and getting some levels, some key levels from longer term markets, placing them on this chart, looking for the general areas and the general strategy that I'm looking for, and then go to the 1-minute chart and apply the blueprint of exactly what I'm looking for. Let me just take this back to where it should be. So the 1-minute chart is entry, 5-minute chart is finding the area, and I'd call the 15-minute chart is my exit. I'd say 8 out of 10 times I'm getting out for a predefined 10-tick exit, but occasionally I do go for more. If there ever is one I do go for more, it'd be a good opportunity to show you as to why I was thinking that, and show you where I got that sort of information from the 1-minute chart, from the 15-minute chart, I should say. So first trade here, what I'll go through now is explain the actual trade I took, one trade, and then go through all the other areas that came up close, and then that'll be done. That'll be it for the blog, and you'll start to get an idea of basically what are these 6 specific blueprints or 6 specific trading setups I'm looking for. And basically today there was 1, 2, 3 out of the 6 setups appeared. The actual breakout setup came out many times, and it's quite a popular setup for me. Righto, so directional breakout, what I'm doing is every day, first trend of the day, it doesn't come up all the time, but I'm looking for some direction and some trend. It doesn't necessarily mean I go with the first direction of the day. Friday, for example, the market pushed up, wasn't interested in that at all, because all the other markets weren't looking like they were going together in an upwards formation. However, today, based on the 15-minute charts, based on a few things, all these markets start getting straight down and pushing down together, and I was certainly interested in this downside. Now, for me, there's a specific price action level right here, so based on this immediate area here, so it's only relevant to this area. I don't carry this relevance over to here. It's only relevant for this area, so what I'm looking for the markets to get down, push at least 4 ticks past, come back, collect me, and then go. So again, 1-minute chart, I'd identify this area. So this is well before the market actually opened. Sorry, I've got that in the wrong. 1 sec, 38. I think I got that in the wrong area. Yep, that in the wrong area. Should be up there. Okay, so again, this area, so when we were up here like this, I'm saying to myself, okay, certain things, I'm believing the market's going to head down. If all the markets head down underneath this area, get 4 ticks underneath this line, which I determined back here, I'm selling. So again, it's about the model, it's not about me. All I had to do was come there and hit that point, and I'm in, I'm selling. Just didn't get quite get there, but I was looking for that particular trade there. Okay, again, so now the market's pushing down, we've popped up, so we've got the predictive average popping up. This should be more like here, this area here. So the predictive average popped up. Also, we started placing some pressure on the downside. And again, I go to the 1-minute chart. I'm looking for my price action. So I just drew it in the yellow line there where I originally did have it. Okay, so what happens is we come down here, and I'll probably start to establish this line round about this area here. So what I'm looking for is a key level, just in this immediate 20-30 minute period, where I'm going, okay, if this market pops up and heading down, and I start getting my setup for a 5-minute breakout trade, so breaking this low, I want a specific price that I'm looking to enter in. It's not just based on I'll go here because of whatever. It's very specific. It's very based on a model, and what I'm doing is establishing this level before I even get to the trade. Then once the trade starts to set up, so we started popping up above this level, what I need to see this start doing is pushing down, getting underneath it, pushing through the level, then coming back, then selling and going from there. I don't sell when all of a sudden I see it starting to break, and quite often it will pop back and stop you out. And what I want to do is give myself the best chances possible as getting in and getting a winning trade. Okay, so I identify this area here, the predictive average. All the other marks were starting to swing down, but basically, this trade was never going to come. Even though it's popped up here, and I'm looking for a sell. It was never going to come until some selling pressure got applied, and that just never came. So there was never ever, any doubt that I was going to get in any stage through here until a specific blueprint or specific thing that I'm looking for happened. Okay, in this particular situation, I was looking for it, I was ready for it, it just didn't pan out. From there, this is where my reversal trade comes in. So you can see here it is here, reversal. What I'm looking for here now, reversal is based on any sort of 5-minute breakout trade, any 5-minute fade, or any 5-minute buy. Basically, where it's setting up and it looks good, there's direction, there's pressure, and all of a sudden that pressure changes. I like to get in those areas because to see a good area like that, just all of a sudden turn and start going the other way. It's normally an area that breaks and goes really well. Okay, so what I've established is this is a pivot. This is what I call a pivot right here on the 1-minute chart. This is where we're forming and setting up and believing the market's going to go lower for a 5-minute breakout trade. All of a sudden, everything started to change right through here. The Dow Jones started breaking high. So what I need to see here is a pivot. All of a sudden, the momentum change. At least one of the markets clearly breaking this area. Then I enter one tick above the pivot, and so I entered here, and away it went. Okay, so that was the reversal trade. Again, this specific area here is where I'm looking for my 5-minute breakout trade. So you can see it's come up once, we've gone up, I identified as I was looking to get in here, come back down. Again, it went back up here, the pressure's still there, tried to get looked at it there, didn't get entry there, so both times relevant there because it's popped back. And then this time here, looked at getting in here, but again, it never actually came from me, even though this is one that did eventually work, but there wasn't actually a setup. But the blueprint was there, the idea was there, I didn't get the specific entry I'm looking for. And basically, when it did come, what I need to do here is, you can see it's happened. It's come pushed up, pushed through it, popped back. Just need to come back a couple more ticks. I actually enter one tick above that specific line, so I actually need to come back one tick or maybe even two to get filled, and then away it goes. So that was a breakout trade. So a couple of times there was an opportunity to get in there, but just the blueprint never came. 5-minute fade. So actually, I should point out that the actual 5-minute fade that we took for the room was here. The idea, if I'm going to take this trade, it needs to be based on a key level. Now, a key level is an entire yellow or blue line that goes across the entire day, not one of these smaller specific areas. Okay, so I need a key level that's based on previous days or previous weeks or even months. And that's the only way I trade 5-minute fades or 5-minute buys, which basically I call them 5-minute continuation, 5-minute momentum. That's just a different version of it. So for me here, even though I believed it was a good area, and it's one that Seb called, and that's how we take it for the trading room. It's not where I specifically look. I actually look for it to be above a key level, which it wasn't at that particular key level for me yet. But up here was a bit more like it for me. Also, we pushed up. This is a key level I predetermined. I need to go a certain distance and then pop back. It just didn't quite go far enough, and there wasn't quite enough confirmation, so I didn't actually get an entry there, but it was close. And by this stage too, actually, I was just finishing up. I only actually did half a day, which is not normal for Mondays, but I actually was leaving the markets right at about this stage here. From there, we pushed up higher to go back over and look at the markets and have a look at what happened. Again, this is a breakout trade. Where is it? It's up here, so I needed to push through and come back and collect me off a level, so I wasn't there to take it live, so I don't count it as going to my results or my data sheets or anything like that. But there was certainly a setup for me. So guys, hopefully, actually, sorry, I do have the Russell chart here, which I do use. Where I place a lot of significance on the other markets is not the first strategy, so not the continuation of momentum trade, but more the breakout trades and definitely the reversal or the pivot trades. So this particular one here, what I needed to see is the Russell or one of the markets clearly breaking that area, and the Russell wasn't so much, it was right there ready to go, but it was the Dow Jones, which I'll bring over. So here it is here. So by the time the ES is breaking, look where the Dow Jones is. It's well past that pivot area right there. So that was my confirmation to take that reversal trade. So that's the first of the blog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I went into a little bit more detail than normal just to explain what I'm looking for. But as far as moving on, I'll just get straight into it and take it from there.